Hello and welcome to the first official match of Starladder Season 7. Here we're starting off with a game between Kaipi and Can't Describe, and a best of one series in true Starladder style. Starladder is underway now completely, and you can check everything out for this tournament at dota2.starladder.tv. Of course, it is in Russian, but Google Chrome does just fine helping us translate. So we do have the first game up. I believe there will be 120 matches over the next month. We're planning on covering as many of those as we can. And there should be daily casts, so it should be pretty exciting here. Like I said, there will normally be a Twitch TV stream side by side this audio-only broadcast. You can access both of those at dotaradio.com. I'm Zyori, flying solo today. My co-caster, unfortunately, is unable to make it. Today's actually his birthday. Can you believe that? The day of all days. His birthday is on the premiere of Starladder, and the first time we were going to start doing these Dota Radio casts. So I will not be solo for casts to come, but today, unfortunately, I am slated to be in that position. So I'm going to tweak my mic volume a little bit here. Just go down. No, maybe I'm not going to tweak my mic volume. There we go. Alright, oh, that's a weird little slider. Okay, so we do have Kaipi versus Can't Describe. Kaipi going to be up on the dire side in this first match. Can't Describe going to be on the bottom Radiant side. We are well underway here into the drafting. First two bans come out from Kaipi are going to be that IO Wisp and Bat Rider. First two bans coming out from Can't Describe going to be Chen and Timbersaw. So all very expected bans, I suppose you could say. Bat Rider and Wisp were two of the most picked / banned heroes in the International, so no surprise to see them taken off the board. Timbersaw and Chen, both very powerful heroes in their own right as well. Can't Describe, going to start things off. Oh my gosh, and I just realized I didn't press play. I was like, this drafting is going by very slowly. So that will open up first pick to the Darkseer. Kaipi going to counter pick here the Visage and the Nyx Assassin, and Can't Describe is going to pick up the Lifestealer. Now they did add an extra ban in, so that banning and picking rotation is a little bit different, and it does take a little bit longer here. I do apologize for staring at the paused screen waiting for something to happen. So Puck going to be banned by Kaipi here, as well as Weaver going to be banned by Can't Describe, and they're going to take out that Clockwork as well. Last ban before the next round of picking coming out is in the hands of Kaipi, actually going to break into their reserve time for this next ban. So Visage and Nyx Assassin to start things off with Kaipi, and let's go over the player rosters as well. There is actually a stand-in on Kaipi, but of course they did recently get the pickup that is Sing Sing, which is exciting I guess to say the least. They'll be excited to see what Kaipi can do with the Master Sing Sing on their roster. They also have Diamond Dust, Pylai Dai, their stand-in Awe 2000, and Bone 7 is their roster. They are going to pick the Nature's Prophet to complement their Nyx and Visage, and that third pickup from Can't Describe is going to be a Naga Siren to complement their current Lifestealer and Darkseer. So both sides starting to unveil their rosters a little bit. I'll be curious to see what Kaipi goes for in terms of carry here. So far with the Visage and Nyx, they're lining up for something that could be kind of tri-lane-esque. The nice thing about that Nyx Assassin is he can play that support role, and you can also put him in that main mid nuker role. Same with Nature's Prophet. You can put him in the jungle, you can put him in the off lane. It gives Kaipi a lot of flexibility with these last few picks, and also going to give them that choice. Are they going to go for a more aggressive pushing build to go for a nice early win to complement that Nature's Prophet, or are they going to go an alternative hard carry to try and go toe-to-toe with that Lifestealer? Bane's still on the board. Could have been a good pickup for Kaipi, but no, they're going to opt to go with the Storm Spirit, and they're going to follow up with a ban on Outworld Destroyer. Can't Describe also going to pick up Jakiro now, making their roster Naga Siren, Jakiro, Lifestealer, and the Darkseer. So pretty standard lineup here from Can't Describe. I guess they're going to want to tri-lane with that Naga Siren and the Jakiro, but we'll see. We'll see how they want to do that. Offlane Darkseer, I think they're going to need a big middle. Queen of Pain still on the board, but interesting statistic about Queen of Pain. She's one of my favorites. I love her in the mid, but unfortunately I think she had the lowest win rate of a hero that was picked, over a certain threshold in the International. So maybe Queen of Pain is not so great of a choice. But how unfortunate for Queen of Pain. I don't know if we'll see her. 2 bans left. The last ban here for Kaipi coming out in just a few moments. They are breaking into their reserve time. So we'll see what they take off the board in just a moment. I'm so curious if they're going to take the Queen of Pain off the board. So there you go. Afraid of that scary mid-hero. Of course, with that Storm Spirit, they're going to not want to be going up against Queen of Pain, I suppose. I don't know. I was trying to think about Storm Spirit and Queen of Pain having a little bit of a counteraction. I don't know that one is particularly better than the other, but she's still a hero that Kaipi's afraid of here. Puck's still on the board as well. If Can't Describe is going to opt for a tri-lane. I don't know why I suggested Puck. I was thinking they're going to need a mid, but I don't know. I think I kind of a weird roster here. I'm going to be curious to see what they do with their very last pick. So breaking into the reserve time here, last ban going to be on Shadow Fiend, an interesting choice from Can't Describe. I guess they're really afraid of that mid-game power that could come out with a Nyx Assassin, Visage, Shadow Fiend, and Storm Spirit. But, Jesus Christ. What is that? Oh my. Oh, Jesus. I think the lawn people are mowing the grass, upsetting the dogs there. All right, so last pick here for Kaipi is coming out. They're going to move almost in that reserve time, and they're going to finish it off with a Beastmaster. So another interesting choice. I'm going to be curious to see how Kaipi opts to lane this. The last few games I've casted warming up here for Starladder, I have not seen much Beastmaster action. Of course, he is great for the potential Enigma that is still left in the pool. No ban, no pick. Can't Describe. Could still grab Enigma here, but just in case, Kaipi going to cover their bases. Beastmaster with his Roar is a great hard counter to that Enigma. Of course, going through the BKB and mitigating some of that ridiculousness that Enigma can put out. So last pick in the hands of Can't Describe. They're breaking into the reserve time, and they do have a lot of options. I think Enigma would be an okay choice here. Could still try and do, and you don't really want to tri-lane with Enigma so much. With that Jakiro, it just makes me think that they want to pull a tri-lane out. So bonus time ticking away. They've got 10 seconds left, and it's going to be a Dragon Knight to finish off their roster. So they're going to go with the nice tanky pickup. Very melee-heavy team for Can't Describe. They've got a Darkseer, Lifestealer, Naga Siren, Dragon Knight, and Jakiro. Jakiro being their only ranged hero. So that's going to make their laning phase a little bit difficult against this slightly more well-rounded roster that Kaipi has. So we'll see how it works out. We'll see what they opt to do for the lane. So welcome to Game 1 officially of Dota Radio's premiere. As I mentioned, flying solo today, but my co-caster will be here in future matches when it is not his birthday, of all days for it to be birthday time. So, let's go over who's playing what. On Can't Describe, down here on the Radiant side, we do have Screen playing the Jakiro, Staliner playing the Dragon Knight, Zonder on the Nagazyran, Nexus on Lifestealer, and Sidoi going to be playing the Darkseer. They're going to start off with all 5 down in the Radiant jungle, venturing towards that bottom room, trying to catch somebody off. Whenever there's a Furion on the other team, there's always potential for him to do the fast port and ward up your jungle very early on. So they are going to be looking around just in case Furion tries to do something too sneaky. On the side of Kaipi, we're going to be looking at their stand-in, I-2000, playing on the Visage. We are going to see Pylai Die on the Nyx Assassin, Diamond Dust playing the Storm Spirit, Beastmaster going to be in the hands of Sing Sing, and last but certainly not least, Bone going to be playing the Nature's Prophet. Looks like Nature's Prophet is going to be moving into the jungle. Did go Nature's Call first, hiding in the well, waiting for that proper time. Sing Sing going to be in the mid lane on the Beastmaster, and we'll see how the rest of this settles down with Nyx Assassin, Visage, and Storm Spirit. An odd group of 3 heroes. We'll see how they break apart and who they put in that off lane, as it is confirmed Furion will be moving into the jungle. Invisibility Rune is going to spawn top at that 0-0 timer here. We're now 15 seconds into the first game. Pylai Die going to pick it up on that Nyx Assassin. He's going to head to the top lane where there are 3 dire heroes, and they're ready to make it happen. Now, what's interesting is Can't Describe. Looks like they're just going to sacrifice their offlaner, which is something we see quite often when it's a offlaner versus a tri-lane or a very strong duo lane. They just totally sack that offlane. Sometimes you see two junglers moving around together, or they just roam and try and set up ganks. So we're going to see a free farming lifestealer for Can't Describe down here in the bottom lane with absolutely no opposition, and in the top lane we're going to be seeing Diamond Dust getting all that solo experience against no one as well. So both sides sacking that off lane already without having sort of preemptively before anything really goes awry from a newcomer's standard. This probably seems really weird. Both teams opting to give absolute free farm to Lifestealer and Storm Spirit. Seems weird, but it actually makes a lot of sense. Those offlaners just struggle so much in the long lane and by themselves. So part of the question here on, I'm sure everyone's mind, is Lifestealer versus Storm Spirit. Of course, Lifestealer with that free farm is perhaps a bit more scary because he is the definition of a hard carry. What is the counter to Lifestealer? Nobody knows. It's just like the little owl from the Tootsie Pops commercials. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know, indeed. So we're off to a reasonably slow start. The lawn I don't know if you guys can hear the chainsaw in the background, but Jesus Christ, why couldn't they have come an hour ago when I wasn't broadcasting? Hopefully it's not too loud. If it is, my apologies, folks. So we're 10 seconds from that level 2 rune spawn. Pylai died, camping the runes on the Nyx Assassin for Team Kaipi. Hoping it's going to spawn bottom here as he is hanging out. And no, it is going to be a double damage rune up in the top lane. Starladder from the mid lane on the DK is going to go ahead and pick it up. So second rune, pardon me, is going to go to Can't Describe in that mid lane. Let's take a look at last hits as well. Sing Sing on the Beastmaster, sitting 10-0 against the 9-2 DK on Can't Describe. So reasonably even mid lane. And both sides are actually really even. Nyx Assassin and Jakiro both playing that hard support, picking up absolutely no farm, just moving around. Jakiro stacking the Radiant jungle, trying to make things a little bit easier for his farming buddies. And this Naga Siren as well, basically just pulling right now. It's sort of a jungling Naga Siren. Zonder is just now hitting level 2. So we're seeing this sort of weird dichotomy here where Can't Describe has 2 level 2s, but the only level 1 remaining in the game is the Nyx Assassin on Kaipi. Now, I always get nervous when I see a Nyx Assassin with absolutely no farm like this, because I think Nyx is a hero that really flourishes in a solo role, you know, like a mid-hero where he can get all that experience, have some rune control preferably, and set up some kills, because he can really get out of control. He needs to hit a quick level 6, get that Vendetta, and that allows him to just open up so many more ganking opportunities. Here, we're just seeing him roam around, still level 1, moving around the Dire jungle now, just has 2 Sentry Wards, 3 Tangos, and a Clarity Potion, trying to make something happen, but can't find any opportunities. I mean, both sides right now are so passive. If you look at the map, it's split completely in half, with middle being both heroes right in the middle and everyone else on their side of the map in their jungle just farming away. So there's really no opportunity for a level 1 Nyx to come in and try and make something happen. There's going to be a little bit of counter warding action down here in the bottom lane near the bottom rune. Nyx actually going to throw down both of his sentries to try and get rid of the ward that is here for the Radiant side. He is going to get it, but their sentry is going to survive, so they still have a little bit of vision. 4-minute rune going to spawn. It is going to be down here in the bottom lane where the action's at. It will be a regeneration. Naga Siren going to move out of the jungle and will keep it safe for now. He doesn't want to pick it up, of course, at full health and full mana. Nyx Assassin wandering around. We could potentially see a little skirmish heat up around this bottom rune. Right now, Zonder, level 3 Naga Siren, just hanging out. Happy as a clam to keep this regeneration safe and sound. And there we go. His buddy Dragonite going to top off his bottle and fill it up with a regeneration rune. So let's go ahead and glance at item pickups. Who's the first to grab boots? Sing Sing and Zonder going to be the first 2 to grab boots, as well as the Dragonite going to have his boots of speed as well. Other than that, no crazy item pickups quite yet. Nexus down in the bottom lane playing on that Lifestealer is just farming away. He's leading the way in last hits and denies, 38 and 9. And meanwhile, up in the top lane, Storm Spirit getting that free farm and trailing by just a couple of last hits, 34 and 7. And he is going to go ahead and pick up those Arcane Boots straight away. So Nature's Prophet looks like he's going to go Gloves of Haste first. I think he's pooling that gold for the Hand of Midas. He does have about 1,100 in the bank. So an unchecked farming Furion, of course, he is having a grand old time up there. And will start to get a bit more powerful as this game continues, of course. I want to talk about Visage a little bit as we have a very slow game at about the 5.5 minute mark. Still not a single kill on the board. Very slow game to start off our day of casting here with Starladder Season 6. This is day 1. Welcome to Dota Radio. Thank you so much for joining us. You can go to www.dotaradio.com for our schedule, the stream embed, and all of the other information your heart could ever desire for Dota Radio. So let's talk about Visage for a moment, though. One of the scariest supports. He got a lot of attention at the International as well. I believe he was very high on the banned pick list also in that support role. He is level 5, just about to hit level 6 in this game, and that's when he gets very irritating, of course, summoning those familiars that fly around and give you so much vision and are quite the harassment tool. Down in the bottom lane, though, Can't Describe going to get a little aggressive on Pylai Dai. They're going to dive that tier 1 tower. Pylai Dai going to be the first to fall. That's going to be a first blood coming out for Naga Siren. Furion going to port in, but he's going to get caught as well. That's going to be a 2-for-0 exchange. Can't Describe pulling ahead. Unfortunately, Jakiro is going to overcommit. He's going to fall as well. Sing Sing going to port in. He's going to try and make something happen, but it's not going to happen. He's going to get taken out by the Dark Seer. That's going to make it a 3-for-1 exchange. Can't Describe coming out way ahead. The rest of Kaipi going to port in now. Their entire team down in this bottom lane, but I think it's going to be too little too late. Visage down by the bottom rune, chasing the Naga Siren off, but Naga Siren going to be able to survive without too much trouble. All the while, DK in the mid lane is picking up a lot of farm. He's now level 7, going to go Elder Dragon form, and he did a lot of damage to this tower. This tier 1 tower for Kaipi in the mid lane, now down to about 250 health, so that's going to be an easy push for Stallner on that Dragon Knight in just a couple of moments here. So now Dark Seer in control, being controlled by Sadoy, 2-0-0 in that last fight. That Ion Shield proving to be very effective. That's going to get him that headdress and chainmail, and of course make him one step closer to picking up that mech. The mid tier 1 for the Dire side does get denied. Visage going to be able to grab that last hit with his familiars, and the first tower of the game will fall in favor of Can't Describe, but of course being denied does limit their spoils. So that little exchange in the bottom lane going to set us off 3-1 now, with Can't Describe about 2,500 gold ahead of their opponents. And they've got themselves a nice little lead. Lifestealer now level 8 in the bottom lane, went Hand of Midas first, as we would probably expect in this situation. Does have his Boots of Speed as well, and he is in great shape. Looking at last hits, still leading the way, 61 and 12. And second to him is the actual Darkseer, 51-0, but he is picking up those jungle creeps. The Storm Spirit that was farming so well in the top lane, Diamond Dust, with 48 creep kills, so starting to fall behind. Already Lifestealer's net worth 1,000 gold ahead of anyone else in this match. So KP starting to fall behind just a little bit here, and that is a little scary because Lifestealer is the ultimate hard carry in this game. To see him already at least 1,000 gold ahead on that net worth chart does make me a little bit nervous. I think KP may have been wise to try and mix in a Bane pick here because, of course, that spacing on the name of the ability, the thing that makes heroes do less damage, does go through Lifestealer's Rage. So she does work as a pretty effective counter. Yes, he, Bane Elemental, he, she. It's an Elemental. It doesn't have genitalia. The Bane Elemental does work well as also with the Lockdown, the ultimate, of course, being superior magic. Does an effective job of shutting down that Lifestealer. And I think Bane fits the role of kind of the roaming, hey, I'm not going to pick up any farm and I don't need experience role, more so than Nyx Assassin, because he will fall off very, very quickly. So down in the bottom lane, Can't Describe continuing to group up. All 5 of them down here, they are going to be able to push and take out that tier 1 tower very easily, and they're going to keep the pressure on. Elder Dragon form engaged, and they're going to pressure this tier 2 in the bottom lane, going to get it to about half health. The glyph will be used. The familiar is going to go in, do a little bit of harassment. They will catch the stun. Global Furion ult, and we see a lot of Radiant heroes here in the red, so to speak, below half health, and they're going to be forced to back up. They are going to smoke up, though, interestingly enough, and they may go back in for more action. Mechanism has also been picked up on the Dark Seer, so that is going to give Can't Describe even more of an advantage than they already had. Smoke still active. Dragon Knight baiting in the bottom lane. They're going to go in. All 5 of them here. There's the engagement onto Visage. Visage's going to be in big trouble. He's going to fall. Actually, the last hit going to go to the Radiant, so that gold will be split. Now 4-1 as we hit that 10-minute mark. This tier 2 tower in the bottom lane in big trouble. It's at 200 hit points, and it is going to fall. Last hit going to go to Lifestealer, so that's going to be an even bigger pick-me-up now. Almost 2k gold ahead on that net worth chart. So it's just looking better and better for Can't Describe as their hard carry continues continues to be the most powerful in the game. Taking a look at inventories, Hand of Midas now picked up on the Nature's Prophet, who is level 8, still just farming away in the jungle. He has ported around a couple times, but still seems to be very content getting free farm in the jungle. Storm Spirit still farming away as well. Level 8 does now have the Ring of Health with about 1,200 gold in the bank. I imagine Diamond Dust will be moving towards a quick Bloodstone. That would be my best guess, but time will tell. Could also be a Lincoln's Sphere. Could work quite nicely in here. In this particular game, there are several single target abilities on Can't Describe's Radiant roster that could prove to be quite deadly. Naga Siren now starting to get a little bit stronger as well, sitting at level 6, does have that prized ultimate, also does have the arcane boots, so mana problems are going to start to disappear for the mana inefficient Naga Siren as she moves about the map. Jakiro now level 5 as well, also has his arcane boots, always a good pickup. We see Can't Describe getting those early pickups, those core items, that first round of boots completed over their opponents. 3 gray boots on the Dire side and only 2 on the Radiant. One of those being Furion, who just picked them up as I was opening that tab. So Can't Describe looking hungry for another tower. They are going to clump up a bit here at the top lane. 4 of them in the top, everyone except Lifestealer, who is still soaking up free farm at his tier 1 in the bottom. Elder Dragon form going to be used again. This tier 1 in the top going to go completely undefended. It looks like Kaipi is going to opt just to sacrifice it. Down it goes. Last hit going to go to the Radiant, as Can't Describe continues to pull ahead here, now up to a 5,000 gold advantage as we approach the 12-minute mark in this game. Invisibility Rune going to spawn to the top. No one with vision going to go for it. Kaipi going to start moving towards their through their jungle towards the top lane, and perhaps looking for an opportunity to take a fight. Not going to find it though. Can't Describe very happy with that tier 1 tower pick, and they're going to head back to friendly territory. Dragon Knight does have his Ogre Club picked up with 1,600 gold in the bank, so only about 1,300 off until he finishes with that undoubtedly useful BKB that will be a reality in just moments in this game. Armlet now completed on Lifestealer as well. He is level 11, still the leading farm in the game, and the highest level by a long shot. He's level 11. Darkseer, the second highest level at 9, tied with Storm Spirit, Rexar, as well as Furion. Sorry, sometimes I get hung up on the Dota name and the Dota 2 name. With the Beastmaster Rexar, I say the wrong one in my head and then go, wait a second, no, I have to stop it. It's not Furion, it's Nature's Prophet. I heard people complaining about that during the International, how they have old habits die hard with Wisp and IO and all that stuff. I don't understand the name change from IO to Wisp to IO. I don't get it. I prefer Wisp much more over IO. Anyhow, Can't Describe grouping up all 5 of them. They know they've got a nice lead for themselves. 4-1 here, 13.5 minutes into this best of 1 series. A nice Furion ulti, actually going to take 5 bounces on every member of Can't Describe, and they're going to be forced back a little bit here as they are slightly low on health, waiting for a creep wave. They really want to keep pressuring these towers, and I think it's the right play while they have that edge. Continue to just rub salt in the wound. They know that there's not much Kaipi can do to stop them. Kaipi, unfortunately, with this roster, doesn't really have a lot of great anti-push. Storm Spirit's the only one that can really annihilate creeps, but he just doesn't have the farm yet to be cruising around the map and be as scary as he will be 10-15 minutes from now. This tier 2 tower in the mid lane for the Dire is going to go down. That's the 5th tower kill, pardon me, for Can't Describe, and they have only lost none. They've lost none of their own. Storm Spirit was pressuring that tier 1 in the top lane all the while, but he was thwarted the tower in deny range with just about 100 HP. So that is where the first tower is going to fall for Can't Describe, but they have a huge tower lead right now. Kaipi just without a very well-rounded roster. They've got individually strong heroes. Of course, Rexar great with that ultimate to do some solo damage. Nyx Assassin as well, a great solo ganking hero. And Visage and Furion, both very powerful in their own right, but they're not very dynamic. They don't bring a lot to anti-push. They're more irritating. Of course, Furion needs that time, but uh-oh, in the Radiant jungle, there's going to be some engagement onto the Darkseer. Diamond Dust going to wake up. He's going to come in. They're going to try and make something happen. Roar going to come out onto Sidoi, but it's not going to be enough. Naga Siren will come in and use the ultimate and not going to catch anybody. All the while, though, Lifestealer are going to be able to catch Visage in the Radiant jungle, and that's going to be an easy kill. Now 5-1, Can't Describe leading the way 15 minutes into this match. Nexus is getting scary. We mentioned he has an armlet. He's had the Hand of Midas, but now he's got 2,600 gold in the bank. And we'll be curious to see what item choices he decides to make as that luxury of huge income swings his way. BKB now completed from on Dragon Knight. It is on the way via the Courier. Dragon Knight and Lifestealer both leading the way in terms of net worth in this game. So it's looking very, very good for those two heroes in particular. Storm Spirit finally starting to get a little bit more scary. He does have the point booster, vitality booster, and Ring of Health with 700 gold in the bank. So just about 1,300 gold or so until he'll be able to finish up with that Bloodstone, and that will certainly help him out quite a bit. Will allow him to start cruising all over the map with that Ball of Lightning ultimate and help with some of that counter pushing. Furion is starting to get a little more scary as well. Has now finished his Shadow Blade, another core piece. Pretty standard Furion build with his gray boots, Hand of Midas into the Shadow Blade, and his farm is starting to get a little bit better on the net worth chart. He's par for course with 5,700. Unfortunately, Lifestealer leading the way at 9,500 net worth here, only 16 minutes into this game. I mean, he has just been free farming this entire match, nothing to slow him down, and you just can't do that. You can't let the Lifestealer have absolute free farm and do whatever he wants without some sort of a backup plan. Right now, Kaipi has no real early game aggression. They've got no pushing power, and they've got no way to slow down this Lifestealer. It's looking rough. Naga Siren in the mid lane, though, is going to get caught by Diamond Dust. He's got the Bloodstone now, and that is going to cost Xander his life. This Tier 1 tower in the mid lane for the Radiant side looking low. The Glyph going to be used, but it's just a few hits from death. Going to be an easy push with all those treants from Furion. Sedoy the Darkseer going to run through and try and clear up these creeps a little bit. Diamond Dust not going to have enough mana to catch him, and that will be the end of this push. Kaipi going to be forced back, but all the while, Nexus and Starladder are going to be in the top lane. Elder Form used, the Lifestealer here. They're going to take out this Tier 2 tower in the top lane. That's going to be the last remaining outer tower for Team Kaipi. So the tower count is 6-1 right now. Really a big source, really a big contributing factor for the gold difference right now. Another kill going to come out. 2 kills going to come out for Darkseer. Is it going to be 3? Indeed it will. Storm Spirit, Nature's Prophet, and Nyx Assassin all going to be taken out by the Darkseer. Wow, that Darkseer is getting scary. The mechanism, the wall, as well as the Ion Shield, all going to be enough to take out those squishy heroes. Nyx Assassin, Nature's Prophet, both with absolutely no stats, gray boots, and just completely susceptible targets. Can't Describe going to move straight into a Roche kill here, and certainly why not? 8-2, 18 minutes in, they've got the lead. No way Kaipi can contest it. They could try, but I don't think they're going to be able to make it happen. Those 3 kills now going to make Darkseer 5-0-1, leading the way in kills 5 out of the 8 for his team. Now that Roche is going to go down, that's going to push Can't Describe even further ahead. Diamond Dust lining up. Looks like he may try and scoot in. Is he going to be able to grab it? He's not. He is going to scoot in, but the Aegis will get picked up by Nexus on the Lifestealer. So a noble effort from the Storm Spirit. Unfortunately, though, not going to be able to pull it off. Now things going to be really scary for Kaipi as Lifestealer has finished his Desolator. It's going to be in transit via the Courier here in just a moment. So that is... oh, scary, scary. Armlet and Desolator at the 20-minute mark on Lifestealer is bad news bears for any opponent foolish enough to cross his path. Visage continuing to harass with those familiars as best he can. That's what Visage does best, but it doesn't bring a lot to the table in these very early team fights. I think Kaipi may have been well advised to pick up the Enigma themselves instead of going for that Beastmaster. As I mentioned earlier, it's sort of hypothesizing that was some of the motivation behind that pick. I think Enigma solo mid may have worked a little bit better for him. At least would have given them some anti-push here. But CD going to be pushing into the base. They're going to finish off Nyx Assassin before he even knows what's happening. We're in the bottom lane at the Tier 3 tower for Kaipi. It's taken about half health. Their rack's going to be exposed in just a couple of seconds here. Can't Describe doesn't need to back up. They are just steamrolling their way. Kaipi can't even stop this push. They're all grouped about, just watching their base die. They've got no way to initiate, no way to handle this team fight. Rexar just wandering in circles. Sing Sing wants to make something happen. He's got his cooldowns, watching his his bottom lane of barracks fall. It's going to be bad news bears. Uh-oh, Naga Siren going to use the ultimate. That's going to set up a nice engage. Beastmaster going to fall. Storm Spirit going to be able to finish off Jakiro in the back, but it's not going to save the rest of his team. Lifestealer going to be able to pick up a double kill by finishing off Visage. and that's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange. The bottom lane of racks for Team Kaipi fall here as we ding past the 20-minute mark. Buyback going to be coming out for Rexar. They may be able to make something happen. Sing Sting still has the ultimate ready. Could try and use it on someone as they pour it out, but they're not even going to be able to make it happen. 11-3 here with Kaipi up against the ropes. I think Can't Describe is going to be in good shape to take this match. Diamond Dust trying to get a little aggressive. That is going to force Can't Describe back, and they're going to be happy with their spoils. While that was happening, though, Furion did manage to take a Tier 2 tower in the top lane for the Radiant side, so did grab his team a little pick-me-up, but not a cost-effective exchange by any means. It did help plateau that gold graph a little bit, but still Can't Describe leading the way by 7,500 gold on that team chart. Let's go ahead and take a look at item pickups. We talked about Lifestealer with the Armlet and the Desolator, the BKB on Dragon Knight. Other items getting picked up. Jakiro halfway to a Veil of Discord does have the Helm of Iron Will as well as the Robe of the Magi already. Naga Siren has picked up a Gem of True Sight for good measure, and Darkseer hasn't picked up anything since he grabbed that mechanism, but he does have 4,300 gold in the bank, so of course he's feeling rich at the moment, and we'll see what he opts to buy. He's just going to right-click an Orchid Malevolence as we're talking about it right now. There you go. 2.5 minutes left on the Aegis in the inventory of Lifestealer as well. So on the side of Kaipi, their biggest item, of course, is that Bloodstone in the hands of Storm Spirit. Sing Sing has managed to pick up an Ognim Scepter. On the on the Beastmaster, which is helping a little bit, and Nature's Prophet working towards the Orchid does have one Oblivion Staff and a Quarterstaff, of course, complementing his Hand of Midas and Shadowblade. Has finally upgraded those boots to pick up some phase boots as well. So the action continuing here. Can't Describe going to push up the mid lane. They're at the Tier 3 tower, knocking on the front door of Kaipi. They're going to take that tower down to about 1/6 HP. The Glyph going to be used, and that's going to be all she wrote for that tower. Again, Kaipi in the same situation. Deja vu all over again. They're just watching their base get destroyed. The Roar going to come out. It's going to be used on the Naga Siren. Diamond Dust going to come in. They're going to be able to drop the Naga Siren before the ultimate can come out, but it's going to cost them their Storm Spirit. The engage continuing as Lifestealer finishes off Nyx Assassin. Nyx going to buy back right away. Jakiro going to fall to the Visage. Oh, there's the vacuum into the wall, and that's going to be all she wrote for Kaipi. It looks like Nexus just doing so much damage here. He is going to be able to finish off the Prophet. No, Prophet going to be able to sprout and pour it out just in time. Storm Spirit is going to buy back. He's going to fall. Sadoy doing so much damage. Going to be able to surge away. Pylai die. He bought back as well. He picked up that Gem of True Sight. Lifestealer going to be able to catch him off guard and solo him down. It's going to be a 2-for-0 exchange when it's all said and done after all the buybacks come out. Furion going to come back from the well. He's going to pick up that kill onto Sadoy. That's going to be a nice 700 gold bounty to end that unstoppable streak, the gem on the ground, but Nexus just too powerful on that Lifestealer. Kaipi going to tap out after they lose that mid-game Arax, and Can't Describe going to win the first game of Starladder Season 7. A very impressive display in this first game here. When it's all said and done, Lifestealer ending 6-0-7, and Sadoy on the Darkseer going to be 6-1-8. That's what happens when you let a Lifestealer farm and get out of control. Free farm all the way. A 23-minute match with an Armlet, Desolator, Reaver, and an Aegis with Hand of Midas. There was no stopping that Lifestealer, and I think we made that prediction in the first couple minutes. So thank you for joining us for Game 1 of Starladder. Plenty more games to come.